Yo, what up, Street Gods? There, Kim. Alright, some turbo thoughts. How to give it your all. So randomly watching the Lakers versus Cavs game, and it's funny is that like people only really give it their all right at the very end. If it's like, you know, last 5 minutes of the game, fourth quarter, and certainly there's people go super hard, go all the way down to the net and stuff like that. The question is, why don't people always do that? Why do people conserve their power towards the very end? Some theories. I mean, one theory is that maybe when you're waiting that long till the very end, it's kind of trying to conserve your energy till the very end where it's clutch. But I would actually say it makes more sense to go plaid, go quad turbo at the very beginning, at the offset, and as time progresses, you go even harder. So some thoughts. Kind of like the idea that like maybe, okay, so one theory, maybe it's a good idea to be more of a quote show off, where you're trying to humiliate and destroy the other team as much as possible. So from the very onset, you try to score as many points as possible. So for example, like even in the World Cup, right? Like watching Brazil versus Switzerland, no, not Brazil, Portugal versus Switzerland. It looks like in the game of international football, aka soccer, there's kind of like this unwritten rule that one should not humiliate the other team past a certain point. It's showmanship, but it's like, no, that's too much ethics. It's like you must destroy the team as much as possible. Like if I was Portugal or Brazil and you're playing the other team, right? I would like try to score like 12 goals or 15 goals, try to set a new world record in terms of, you know, how much a team was beaten by. Now it's considered bad form or whatever, but my thought is, if you want to become insanely great, you want to become as dominant as possible and destroy the records as much as humanly possible. So for example, Hafthor, right, did the 502 kilogram deadlift. Was it 502? I don't know, it was just 2 pounds more than Eddie Hall. You know, like I almost felt like he should have set a higher number to just set the bar even higher than possible. A fun thing that I've been experimenting with is you know, typically people who lift weights, power lifters, right, they're all stuck in the basic, like, you know, deadlift, squat. With deadlift they do the standard form, conventional form, or they do sumo or whatever. I actually found that doing a rack pull, because you shorten the range of movement and also it's all the way a little bit higher where you have better leverages, you could pull way more that way than you could do it off the floor, obviously, right? And so part of it is like my pride to like, you look at the, I'm like, a few days ago I was able to successfully rack pull 6 plates and a 25 on each side. I haven't seen nobody at the gym thus far deadlift that much. I'm like, yeah, I have the strongest pull in the gym right now. I know obviously if other people did rack pulls instead, 1 rep maxes, they'd be far stronger than me. But I kind of like the idea that when it comes to other people or competition, whatever, is that you just don't get stuck into old analogies and try to do things the way they do. So for example, like social media, Instagram, right? The goal is, you know, who's gonna get more followers and likes and stuff. And it's like, maybe that's just the wrong equation in the first place, is that you should just like, you know, only losers use the IG. If people's like, what's your IG, bro? I'm like, it's like asking somebody's like, what's your favorite Starbucks Frappuccino? And elitism is funny because it's kind of a context dependent thing, is that I'm very elite and in some contexts and very open and democratic. Because actually the good thing with social media or Instagram, whatever, is it is kind of in some ways the most quote-unquote democratic platform, because a like is a like is a like, a follower is a follower is a follower. You don't actually judge quality of followers on social media, because like, once again, what's more impressive, to have 1 billion random people following you, or to have one Elon Musk or one Kanye West following you, right? So in today's world, right, one person or one man could actually outweigh 1 billion people, my opinion, right? And you know, back in the days of the ancient Spartans, ancient Greeks, is like, to me, one man is worth 1,000. I'm like, today the numbers are even more great. Like, is it better to be one of the Spartan elite out of the 300, or to be like 1 million Persian slaves? I would choose the Spartan 300. Also, a pro tip: it was like, how many likes, followers, subscribers is enough? I said a hard number. 300 is enough. If you got 300 really loyal, dedicated Spartan followers, that's good enough. Is my answer. And it's funny too, because like, you know, I teach workshops and stuff like that. It's like, I don't actually need that many people to attend my workshops in order for me to make a living. Now the better question is, do you want to make a killing? I'm like, it's never been my interest, even when I was a kid, to, you know, make the whole purpose of my life to make a bunch of money. It was always the point. Like, I remember as a kid, like high school, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if I was a lawyer or something, I was paid $100 an hour, I would only work 1 hour a day. Or, you know, think about Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week, right? Let's assume that your rent is only like $500 a month, right? As long as you can pay rent and you got total freedoms, isn't that the ultimate goal, right? Like, even when me and Cindy were living in Vietnam, I got the most turbo thoughtage done there, because our rent for a brand new studio apartment with everything included was only like $350 USD a month, right? And then including food and our coffee bills and stuff like that, I don't think our total living expenses was more than like $500-600 a month. That's me and Cindy combined, and this is us like literally eating out every single day, going out every single day, spending all day at the coffee shop, etc. So I think the path to the greatest life is a life with the least amount of expenses. So it's better to live in the middle of nowhere and pay $500 a month in rent. You know, I don't know, whether you live at home or you share rent with some other people, have roommates and stuff like that. Then if you know, living somewhere paying $3,000, $4,000 or $5,000 a month in rent, being, I don't know, in SF or New York or whatever, it's not worth it. It's like, do you live to pay your rent or your mortgage? It's like, no, you live to think, to philosophize, to make art, to lift really heavy things, and so forth, to move the needle of humanity. And I also think that the reason why more, you know, vloggers or bloggers or creative folks, writers, should do more hype lifting at the gym is 1 rep max attempts. Whenever I come from a gym, I try something new and push myself to the max. It's like heightened mind state, because my body state has been also enabled. I've been doing a new fun thing at the gym. I've been doing squat hold, right? Maybe squat hold. It's called a squat hold, or squat unracked. Squat hold seems fine. Is that, you know, it's funny because the powerlifting side, it's always full, so I go to the bodybuilding side and there's that crappy Nautilus squat rack thingy, right? But the pins are actually at an optimal position, so essentially I just try to get under the bar, unrack it, and then get it totally off the bar and just hold it, and then put it back down and just see how much I could do. And so my range of motion pushing off of my thighs and my legs and shoulders is only this much, but I could feel it, and it's it actually feels good. It's like, my theory is squat should be a weight bearing exercise, not a squat all the way down to parallel and push yourself up. To me, it's too much wasted movement. Because for me now, I'm like, I'm not competing, I'm not a professional body, like, I don't care. Like, for me, hype lifting and moving heavy stuff or holding heavy stuff is, it's kind of like a free massage, or it's a good way to get your test up, to get your hype up, to get your elevated thoughts up. It makes you stronger. I mean, yeah, people's like, yeah, this isn't gonna hurt your back or your knees. I'm like, I've never used knee reps, a weight belt my whole life, and I'm fine. I've never, you know, ever since I'm 34 right now, ever since I was like, last time I might have taken protein powder was when I was in college, like, what, 20 years old? But now I'm starting to realize more and more protein powder is just a scam. Just use that money, go to the Costco Business Center, get beef ribs instead. Tell them EK sent you. And also, I did this all while fasted. I never eat anything before the sun goes down. Every day is Ramadan style. And it's funny too, because like Muslim people have been doing this for like, I don't know, a very long time. And they don't even drink water or drink coffee or tea. I'm like, at least I could drink coffee and green tea and water and stuff. It's like, it's not that bad. People say, that's why people is like, they're like, you must eat something before working out or exercise. I'm like, no you don't. I've proved you wrong. He's like, yeah, but you're different. I'm like, you. He's like, you're the outlier. You're the black swan. EK is the black swan. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you know, 5'11", probably average or below average physiological build. Like,